if you're new here, we talk about plants, we do some plant stuff on here. And also I started a website, which is going to launch probably within the next couple of weeks. I'm thinking probably about 3 weeks. So sign up to be notified when I launch my website, because I am going to be offering some good, sweet deals. Yes, some freebies, some discounts, and I am really looking forward to launching and getting my plants out there to you guys. Now, keep in mind, it is a home-based business. Everything that I sell in my shop comes from here in my home and comes from my mother plants. So, I guess you know what you're getting. Anyway, hey, I'm going to talk to you guys today about potting up my Thai constellation. It is time. It has been 1 year since I got this baby, and it is just going into the giant Monstera zone, like this one behind me. So this guy is only 1 year old as well. And yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing to my Thai constellation that I did to make this monster be a monster. I'm gonna do it. It's an experiment, and I think it might work. So I'm gonna do it, because why wouldn't you want a Thai constellation this big? And I've cut this guy back probably about 3 or 4 times. This guy right here. I mean, it's hard to believe. Anyway, so we're gonna try this experiment. Pot up, and we're gonna go crazy with it. We're gonna stake it up, just like I did that guy. He's staked up. And yeah, so I'm starting with the same size pot that I used with this guy right here. It's actually the same exact pot. So I'm starting with this, and I'm gonna create a hole using a pot, because this is loose soil, more or less. Okay, so we're done digging our little hole here. So yay for the hole. Okay, now let's go over here to our beautiful Thai constellation and check it out. Let's look at her. Just look at her. So as you can see, there's a need to pot up this gigantic beast. So she will be very happy in her home. And to be honest, the plant behind me was actually smaller than this beast when I decided to pot up in a big pot. So just so you know. It smells like mushrooms. It's like fungus or something.
It does.
Doesn't it? Is it weird? Why does it always stink like mushrooms? It's so heavy on one side, the rocks were holding it up. You gotta even care about this pot. I'm willing to break the pot. I need your help. So we have to be very careful with these leaves because they're very delicate. Okay? So like I'm trying to get this out of the pot, but these leaves are super delicate, so we can't touch the leaves. So can you pull the bottom of the pot for me? And if it's not giving, I just need to know where, so I can like
The whole thing.
Good? Can you pull it, please? Oh my god. Oh my god. Were you expecting that, Taylor? I was not expecting that. Were you expecting that?
I don't know.
I was not. This thing needed to be repotted so badly. There's basically no soil. That's crazy. Can you see? Okay. So I now know that this was something that needed to happen. I didn't realize how root bound this plant had become. These are fast growers. I do have it in the south facing window. I am so happy right now because I absolutely know this was something this is gonna make this plant so happy. It's gonna shoot out so much growth, Taylor. Oh, it's gonna be huge. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put the stake in now because I need to stabilize the plant before I start putting more soil in, just because it's very unstable. Like the posture, I guess, of the plant is what I'm worried about right now. And as you guys know, you can decide where your stake goes as the plant adjusts to its new environment. The key here, though, is to be very gentle. You can snap, especially if there isn't enough humidity, if the plant is possibly root bound. I don't know. There could be lots of different reasons why, for whatever reason, a main shoot snaps. So when you're repotting, it's really super important to be very, very gentle, because I have potted Monstera before and snapped a couple of big giant leaves, and it's heartbreaking. So just be careful. Very, very gentle. Like, treat it like it's, you know, a freshly sown wound. So I just want to show you what I'm going to be doing here. So I've loosely put the stake in there just to kind of be a backdrop. And I have this mixture of soil. I'm going to put it on the screen for you. But basically what we have here is perlite, orchid bark, vermiculite. I've got some worm castings in here, and let's see, coco coir and some potting mix. So I'm just going to stir that around. Okay, so sorry. So as I was saying earlier, in the base, I always put a general potting mix that is just a general potting mix, not mixed with anything else. It's just general potting mix. If you want to make your own, you can make your own. Goes in the bottom because it's usually heavy in peat or coir, and it retains moisture. Your soil mixture honestly is sort of a personality characteristic of your watering habits and schedule, and the windows that you have and the lighting that you have in your home. But wherever you have your Monstera, you know, you're going to want to make sure that it's getting enough water, because the minute you upset your plant is the minute that the leaves on the plant, they start acting droopy and kind of like they're hanging, or they'll get spots, especially in a Thai constellation. The white on the leaves will start to turn brown, and once that happens, it's irreversible. It's a spiraling effect. It gets one brown spot, and like a cancer, it spreads. So if you want to keep your leaves pretty without any, you know, ugly brown spots, or, you know, having them die and fall off, make sure that you put it in enough light. And if you don't have enough light, get a grow light. And also give it enough water. So I water mine once a week. If I go longer than once a week, I pay the price. And by pay the price, I mean one of my leaves is like brownish. That's where it was white. So one of my leaves does have some damage on it. But, you know, on a plant like this is an investment. You don't want to take a chance. Anyway, the soil with the extra peat in the bottom is insurance for me. If I miss a watering, I know that my soil will retain the moisture. Anyway, this is the more dry soil. I'm gonna put that on top. Leave a little bit of a lip inside the pot for when I water it. But I'm going to put another bucket of this soil mixture in here. So stay tuned. One more bucket. Just kind of pat it down. You don't have to get crazy with it because the water will eventually do the trick for you. But you definitely want your stake like already in place. I put mine in here, and you know as well as I do, this is not long enough, but this is the only one I had available to me. And we're going to use that as balance. We don't need it right now, but we will when we put it near a window, because these guys love to lean. Looking good. Looking good. So what I would probably do, because of the way the plant is splaying out, so I'm using what I like, which is this, because it grows so fast. And I found that bread tie or this nursery wire is the easiest just from trial and error. Sorry, I have a cold right now, so I'm a little nasal, but like for the on the pole stuff, I'm using this wire. And I'm doing it very loosely, very loose. But I'm letting you know what I use because I'm really happy with my results. So I use a mixture of this plus nursery wire, and I cut it and I adjust it every couple months, maybe every 3 to 4 months. It depends on how fast the plant is growing, honestly. So this one right here seems to shoot out a lot of growth. So I would say I make an adjustment to the plant every 2 months or 3 months. So I like to be able to just kind of take it off and put it back on and not have to worry about too much else. So wire it is. All right. And with this one, I think we are pretty good to go. We're just gonna do one more. Actually, I was gonna do this one because I felt like this one was a little low.
Well, it's on the bottom of the plant, so it's gonna
Well,
be
I have a stake already here. You see this right here? And I was gonna try to lift it up just a teeny, just to get it up just a little, so it's not trying to lean back too far. You see what I'm saying here? See what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
You follow me? So this will eventually point toward the window. But right now it's a little cockeyed. It will adjust later on to be all facing forward like that one. So guys, it's really hard for me to believe that here we are and I have a giant that I'm actually able to stand over. That's a Thai constellation. This is crazy. I'm 5'5" and it's almost my height. So, hey, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for watching my video on the uppotting of my Thai constellation. And check out plantlux.com, sign up to be notified when we launch. It's going to be probably within the next 3 weeks or so, so make sure you sign up. We will have some deals and some fun stuff, you know, exclusives for members only. So if you put your email in there, you're going to get the offer. So make sure you sign up for that. Anyway, I'm Krista, I'm signing off, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one, which will be really soon.